What's happening, friends? Welcome to episode 90 of the Game Moose podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Turford, alongside the ghost with the most, Drew McMillan.
Wow, episode 90.
Episode 90.
90.
We're only 10 episodes away from 100.
Well,
Get hyped, everyone.
Yeah, we'll be well past the age of...
We're just past all the ages by
Yeah,
now.
at that
We're
point,
probably basically dead at this point.
Yeah.
That's how that works. Brock McLaughlin is not here this week. He is currently in Philadelphia eating some Philly cheesesteak and licking the Liberty Bell and
running up and down the stairs with Rocky and punching meat. Is he punching meat?
Probably.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck else you do in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've never been to Philadelphia, but it seems nice.
I've been there once, and it's okay.
It's the city of brotherly love.
Yeah. That's a thing that exists.
Well, that's what Philadelphia means.
I am aware.
Yeah. So, we miss our broccoli. We feel brotherly love for him, but sadly he's not here.
Yeah. This episode, of course, is going to be totally old school because it's the first time we've done a show where it's just you and me.
Yeah.
Since December.
It's just the two dudes, yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Which is really weird.
Yeah.
And of course, we're even going to start the show in the usual way. But before we get to that, I want to let you know what's on today's show. On today's show, we're going to talk about how Crackdown has been delayed until 2018. We're also going to talk about trophies, because Drew loves trophies.
I love trophies.
Much.
Yeah, they're my favorite thing.
I got something to get off my chest when we talk about that. But first, we're going to start the show the way we used to always start the show.
Oh.
Drew, what have you been playing this week?
So the only thing I have had time to play this week, because it's been a crazy week, is I played very briefly the Dreadnought beta, which is right now it's a PS4 indie game done by Greybox and Greybox and I already mentioned that, and Iron Galaxy.
Those guys that make Killer Instinct.
They make Killer Instinct and Dive Kick and other classic games. So Dreadnought's kind of like a multiplayer shooter, but instead of playing as some dude on your feet, you play as a very cool spaceship, and you're not like a fighter. This isn't like Eve Valkyrie or Descent Free Space or something like that.
Ooh, you're going old school. Free Space.
It's not like a fighter sim. It's like you play these big, slow moving ships, a dreadnought as it were. And it's really cool because the movement and the like how slow you are and sort of like your spatial relationships are all important. Like, you've got weapons that only fire at the side of your ship, kind of like, so it's got a little bit of like
like Eve?
It's got a little bit of like the Eve. It's got a little bit of like some of the space sims, and then a little bit of like the Assassin's Creed boat combat kind of stuff going on. A little bit. And then it's all about like your powers and timing your defensive powers and your offensive powers, right? So like one of the cool ones is you have like a laser defense thing for when missiles come in. So you can activate your your laser defenses, but like they only last for like, they have like a cooldown. So you hit the button and then like for like, I don't know, like 5 seconds, any missiles coming in will be intercepted by the lasers. So you have to time that just right. So if you see missiles launch, depending on how far away they are, it's like, oh shit, I got to turn them on now or later. Or you can do that, or you can shift your power like X-wing style to shield priority or weapon priority or engines priority, so you can go faster, your weapons recharge faster, your defensive abilities recharge faster, your shields.
Kind of like Star Trek, where you put forward all the power to the shield.
That's true. Kind of.
They
like
say that
Star
a lot.
Trek. Yeah. All power to the shields. Yeah. So yeah, I had a lot of fun, but I only played the tutorial. I think there's some like loot shooter kind of stuff to it once you start getting into it, and like the presentation is really cool. It's got like a cool kind of like campaigny kind of vibe, where like they have like a cool setting that reminds me a little bit of The Expanse. If you watched the show or read the books, The Expanse. You're like in the asteroid belt, and yeah, it's cool. I like it. It's cool so far. But I'm me in space, so
it's true.
Yeah,
you like things in space?
I do.
Shocking.
Things in space and things with robots.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You also put up your review of Avon Colony this week. We talked about it in length last week.
Yeah. So, I mean, essentially my review just covers a little bit more in detail what I talked about.
Right.
What did I give it, Ryan? I give it a 61.
A 61.
61. They can't all be bangers.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that Even Colony is a bad game.
In fact, 6.1 usually means it's okay.
It's okay. Like, again, I said, like, if city building games are your jam, then you should play Even Colony if you're really into that. If you're into 4X games as well, like if you're into like Civilization and stuff like that, there's things to like here as well.
Yeah.
If you're like, city building games aren't really my thing, this game's not going to win you over.
Yeah.
If you're like, I only like science fiction games, but like I'm kind of lukewarm on city building games. Again, I don't think this is gonna be the game that's gonna change your mind.
Yeah, it's more just along the lines of we don't get too many 4X games on consoles. You get a lot of them on PC, like Civilization, like Galactic Civilizations, and some other stuff, but you don't really get them on consoles.
And same with like city building games. Like the first big one in a long time is City Skylines is coming out soon.
It came out last week.
It came out last week. Yeah. So
it literally came out at the same time as Even Colony, which is one of the other things it has going.
Yeah, and if you can think back to the good old days when SimCity was on the Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah.
Or was it the Super Nintendo?
Super Nintendo also, it had that and SimAnt and some other stuff.
Right.
Or even last generation when we had Civilization Revolutions.
Yeah.
And we were also getting some RTS.
These games play as well as you'd expect them to with a controller.
Yeah.
They do a pretty good job of like making things a little bit smoother, but it's not perfect.
The 4X games in particular are usually better about that, or even just turn-based ones, because they just aren't like real-time strategy games. Where real-time strategy games, for the most part, you're having more to do with the controls. Like it lends itself better to mouse and keyboard. Where if it's turn-based and it's a 4X style, it kind of makes more sense with the console.
Yeah. So of course, everything's happening in real time in this game. You can speed up and slow things down, and at the slowest speed, it really isn't that big a deal. Like you have enough time to react to stuff that's going on.
Right.
But it's not perfect, and what is?
Yeah,
so
for sure. Cool.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's
so of course you can go read that at game-moose.com.
Yes.
For all your game-moosing needs.
Indeed.
As for me, I played a few games this week.
Uh-huh.
So I played some interesting games that people would never expect to be good, but are actually pretty good. So I'm going to talk about the best game I played this week.
Yeah.
Sonic Mania.
Woo.
Beat it twice.
Yeah.
I've beaten it as Tails and I've beaten it as Knuckles. I haven't beaten it as Sonic yet.
Very nice. What about Big the Cat?
Big the Cat, I will throw in a spoiler alert here in case you don't want to know anything about this game. Skip a minute and a half. Big the Cat is in this game, but he's not playable.
Damn.
In fact, all of Sonic's dumb friends, they make fun of them in a really very meta way.
The way too many characters problem?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like the cowboy rat and like the green bird, and they make fun of it in this really awesome boss fight that's really cool. Another really awesome boss fight is in the chemical plant zone. The final boss in that level is Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, where you have to play Mean Bean Machine against Dr. Robotnik.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, so you play some Poyo in this game.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a lot of really great jokes. So Sonic Mania itself, in case y'all at home don't know, it's basically a brand new 2D Sonic game made by Kristen Whitehead and T. Lopes and a bunch of members of the Sonic community that worked on the Sonic CD port as well as ports of the other Sonic games. They've sort of specialized in porting Sonic games before, but Sega gave them the chance to make their own Sonic game. So this is a Sonic game built for Sonic fans by Sonic fans.
So here's the crazy thing about it. You say that like the like Sonic CD and stuff, like you refer to them as ports. They are, but they're ports in the truest sense in that they're not just emulators, right? They're not just the games running the emulators. To get them to run as fast and responsively and as correctly, like frame correctly as possible, they actually wrote a game engine from the ground up for PC,
right?
Which is like crazy. Like these guys are like crazy dedicated to like Sonic and the Sonic fandom.
Yeah.
So these are like absolutely the right people to make this game.
Yeah, for sure. And it really shows with the way the level design is set up for all these levels.
Yeah.
It uses some zones from the old Sonic games, and then it has new zones like Studiopolis and the saloon level and some other stuff. But when you play the older levels, what's nice about it is that it starts off with the level that you know, but then it quickly changes into something completely different, which is amazing. Cool. The levels are are completely varied. They're different, very different from each other. You can totally go off and explore because these levels are fucking huge.
Wow.
Like, that was our big takeaway when we played it at the Nintendo Switch event.
Yeah, like we saw a thing where like as Tails, somebody like flew way up, and then like there was a thing that like like a hidden thing that otherwise you wouldn't see.
Or likewise, pits used to be a big thing in like the first and second Sonic games, where like you'd fall in a pit and die. That hardly happens in this game because the levels are so gigantic. Like that you're usually never seeing the bottom of it. Or if you do see the bottom of it, there's usually enough things in place where you're not getting a cheap death like that way.
So here's my problem with Sonic games. I rarely, if ever, make it past the Green Hill Zone. Like the first like area, like after I get through it, I find myself, I get Sonic fatigue pretty fast. And then like whatever the next zone is, was like the casino zone or whatever.
Yeah.
I find those like really trying because the difficulty kind of spikes.
Yeah. Because Sonic, a lot of people don't know this or don't remember this from when they played Sonic games as a kid. Sonic games are actually really difficult.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun about it. Like, again, I'm a sucker for really difficult action platforming games, and that's pretty much what the Sonic games are. They're not like Mario, where Mario is more of a straight platformer.
Yeah.
Sonic's more of like, almost like Ninja Gaiden without melee combat, where it's very much about the speed and about exploring, and it's about sort of basically beating your enemies all the way through. It's not like Mario, where for the most part you're just trying to jump over all the platforms. So it's about the platform.
Yeah. So I guess the question is like, does it hold you like? You know, as long as the difficulty is sort of like linear, if it starts off hard and gets incrementally harder, that's fine.
Yeah.
I've always found that Sonic games started off way too easy and then got really hard really fast.
Yeah. Whereas even like Green Hill Zone in this game, like it's a lot harder than original Green Hill. That ramp isn't as bad this time.
So it really is living up to the like Sonic game for Sonic fans by Sonic fans.
Yeah. I mean, this essentially is, and it was, I guess, pitched to Sega this way as like, what if Sonic 4 was a Sega Saturn game? Because basically you treat all of the graphics in this game the way the parallax scrolling works and stuff is like, it looks like what would happen if there was a 2D game on Sega Saturn.
Right.
So that's sort of how you should approach this. It's not a long-lost Genesis game because there's a lot of stuff that the Genesis couldn't do in here, similar to when we played Shovel Knight, where there's a lot of stuff the NES couldn't do either.
Right.
In that game. Again, this is meant to be what Sonic 4 should have been. It should have been a Sega Saturn game that was a 2D platformer rather than like Sonic Adventure or something really dumb. Sonic 3D Blast, like get the fuck out of here with that shit. No one wants it. But
Sonic Adventure.
But after playing the game twice, because it's not super long, because again, it is a Sonic game, so it's only going to take you about 6 to 7 hours to beat it.
Yeah.
I think I can say pretty definitively now that it is the best Sonic game.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Period.
Yeah. I mean, I remember having fun playing with it at that Switch event, the preview event, and thinking, yeah, this is the Sonic game I want to play.
Yeah. And it's not for everyone, especially if you weren't a Sonic fan already. If you've played those games recently and you're like, the Sonic games aren't for me, this game isn't for you then. That's totally fine. But if you happen to like Sonic at all, I think this is the best way to play Sonic. I think it's the best Sonic game that you can play. Originally, I would always say Sonic CD was my favorite, followed by Sonic 2, then Sonic 3, then Sonic 1. But Sonic Mania is amazing. I think it's one of the best 2D platformers I've played in a while. Like that Inspector of Torment this year is just an amazing showing for 2D platformers this year.
So here's the question, Ryan. Does Sonic date a human woman in this?
No, surprisingly not.
Oh, that's too bad.
He does. I mean, no one does. Surprisingly, I don't think there's humans in this game except Dr. Robotnik.
That's when Sonic got really weird.
That's
like
when Sonic jumped the shark.
Yeah, like Sonic Adventure when they started introducing that like Sonic lived in a city and they were human beings just everywhere.
But at least he didn't date them. It wasn't until like the 2006 Sonic where he dated a human.
He dated a lady?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's good to know.
Her kiss brought him back to life, just like in Sleeping Beauty. It's great.
I feel very uncomfortable.
But you're a furry. You're supposed to like this.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
This is a pre-established fact. We pre-established this on the show.
Yeah, I'm way into yiffing.
Yeah. So I want to talk about Sonic Mania later because I know Brock has been playing it as well, but he's not here to talk about it, so I want to talk about it when he comes back.
Right.
Other game I've been playing that was also surprisingly good. When we talked, you were a little bit worried about this last week. Night Trap 25th Anniversary Edition.
Yeah.
Is amazing.
What?
Because number one, the video which you were so worried about it looking like almost like too too good or almost too terrible.
Yeah.
It strikes a healthy medium in the middle where it's the augurs, which are like the bad guys that are sort of dudes just dressed in like garbage bags.
Yes.
Don't look like they're wearing just garbage bags this time because it's not that level of good.
It's not too sharp.
But at the same time, it's also not. It also they really cleaned up a lot of the scenes. I think the video itself looks great overall. Like I think that the actual remaster of it, they did a bang up job with that stuff. But a bunch of other cool stuff they did with this time around is, number one, in the original Night Trap game, one of the big issues with it was basically a game of memorization where you have to switch between cameras in order to trap the augurs. But you had to sort of memorize where they were because all you had were little icons of all the different rooms. So you basically had to switch back and forth all the time, and it was very annoying.
Yeah.
This time around, what they decided to do is they have little preview windows, just like you would if you had an actual switcher in a TV studio.
Right, or a security system.
Yeah, exactly. So you see all the little pictures, so you can obviously see, oh, the augurs are moving here. I'll switch to this camera and trap them. So it really helps with the gameplay, and it really will bring in a lot of people who would have tried this game before and felt the gameplay wasn't there.
Yeah.
Also, I just love the fact, too, that it's really just a long-lost 80s cheesy horror movie, because that's essentially what this game is. Because all the video, a lot of people don't know this because the game came out in 1993, but all the movie bits are from, like, 89. So
wow.
So it's really just a big 80s horror movie, which is amazing.
Cool.
I'm a sucker for that.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of great special features. Like if you beat the game perfectly by trapping all the augurs, you unlock an FMV of just the movie itself. You can just watch it. There's also a ton of behind the scenes and documentary stuff. They have like 4 or 5 hours of actual movies where screen villains, the people who put this together, went back and sort of talked to the creators of Night Trap that sort of basically told the entire history about this game, which is really interesting.
That's cool.
Including the ESRB stuff. There's a whole documentary about that.
I was really worried that they were going to half-ass this thing, totally. Like there's like tiny company resurrecting a like niche like cult game that like only a few people care about. You know, like I worried that this was going to be something that was kind of cheap and a bit of a ripoff, and I'm glad to hear that it's got a lot of value.
No, if anything, this is sort of what I would almost want in an HD remaster, where not only do they bring back the game that you liked or didn't like at the time, but then they improved upon it.
Yeah.
That's essentially what they did here. It's not just a coat of new paint on this game.
And then they give you some cool history too, which is also important.
Yeah, exactly.
So the question is, Ryan, when are we getting our Sewer Shark HD remaster?
I don't know, but I hope it comes soon. Or Tomcat Alley. When are we getting Tomcat Alley?
Sewer Shark's better.
Yeah.
What other like Sega CD era?
There's a
FMV
bunch of them.
games?
There's like the Seventh Guest and some other stuff.
Well, Seventh Guest is an interesting one because that's the one that started it all, right? That was the game that like was. It's not really an FMV game in the sense that like it's not like you.
It's not like Night Trap where the entire game is an FMV.
FMV, yeah. It's like I think the game that sort of like proto Night Trap is the Dragon's
Dragon's Lair?
Dragon's Lair,
Yeah.
the animated game.
Yeah.
Whereas basically it's a whole and you just get prompts, right? That's very much what Sewer Shark is, right?
Like
you're watching a movie and then it says press up, and it blinks and then you have to press up, and if you don't press up in time, then it cuts to an FMV of you dying.
Yeah.
Right? The interactivity is limited.
Yeah.
In the worst of ways. I mean, Night Trap is more than that, but
because it is more than just pressing the one button. It is sort of searching for these creatures with the security cameras and then trapping them essentially.
So but it's interesting. The history of those games and stuff like that, and how people use that medium and. Yeah.
Plus, there's like a whole survival mode and some other stuff. Like they put a lot into this remaster.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed by that. I don't think it's an amazing game, and I don't think it's a game that everyone should go run and get. But it's a lot better of a game than when I played it back on the Sega CD. Like that, the Sega CD version was not good. It was not a good game.
No,
it's just funny to watch the video because again, I'm such a sucker for cheesy 80s horror movies.
Yeah.
Like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street and stuff. That it's great to go watch those scenes and stuff like that. So I like it for that reason. Plus the gameplay now is actually kind of interesting.
To be fair, Night Trap, out of all these other games we're talking about, Tomcat Alley, Sewer Shark, and the like, it had like the most sort of interesting gameplay, right? Other than just like Press up when the button flashes.
Yeah.
Press left when the button
Well, in
flashes.
Tomcat Alley, you got to lock onto your target by moving the reticle over the enemy jet and then pressing the missile button.
Right. Like it's the gameplay, like the interactivity is limited, and this it is there's more going on there. There's more of a game than some of the other
Yeah,
games.
it's still limited when you compare it to modern games.
Yeah.
But it's more like something like Five Nights at Freddy's, which I know a lot of people like.
Yeah, I think if anything, I think Five Nights at Freddy's owes a lot to this game.
Yeah.
Right? Because the whole concept of you're looking at security cameras and yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I'm happy to hear that it was a success.
Yeah, it's better than I remember it. So
Okay.
that's the main thing. That's what you always want from a remaster.
Yeah,
is that
absolutely.
it's better than you remember it.
Yeah.
Last game I played is still I'm playing Persona 5 because it's still amazing. I'm like 45 hours into that game. I'm on the 4th palace.
Wow.
I still have a lot to talk about with that game, but I still want to wait till I kind of finish it.
Yeah.
But I still, as someone who's been to Japan and been to Tokyo, like it's so cool that game does such a great job of just walking around Tokyo and getting a sense of what it's like to actually go visit there, because they recreate sort of all the different districts in Tokyo so well.
That's really cool.
Like it feels like you're actually walking around there, which is one of the coolest things.
I remember having that feeling. This is a little bit different, but when I played Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, not Brotherhood, Assassin's Creed 2.
Okay.
And then
Walking around Italy.
and then Brotherhood. Yeah. So like the parts of like Italy and remembering. Oh yeah, because I mean a lot's changed, and then not a lot's changed in some of those ancient cities like Florence and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like stuff like the ancient buildings and the layouts of a bunch of the streets are very much the same. You know. I mean, obviously the cities are bigger and more dense, and certain things have changed, but like the basic layout of those cities is very similar. So it was very much like, oh wow, yeah, like I'm back here again. This is kind of neat. So that's always a cool experience, is if it's a place, especially that you've been and you know a little bit of, and
Yeah, exactly.
you get to explore.
Or I know a lot of people are really interested about going to visit Japan, and they just don't have the money to or whatever. And it's a cool place to get to see, like a cool way to see that place without actually going to go visit.
Cool.
Like especially because they get down to like the brass tacks. Like even just walking around Shibuya subway station is just like walking around Shibuya subway station and how crazy it is.
That's
because
funny.
it's kind of all over the place and you get lost.
Shibuya is a bit like a big major hub, right?
Yeah, it's like it's a bit major district, and then it has its own subway station, but the subway station is gigantic.
It's
It has
like a bunch of like intersecting
there's like
lines
a big
and stuff.
mall, and then there's like 40 to 50 different lines you can take there.
Wow.
And it's crazy, man.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really cool. Again, I'll talk about that more. I kind of want to do like a big roundup once I've finished it. So we'll talk about it then.
Cool.
So let's get into our stories this week. So first of all, I should preface that we're recording this on Sunday.
Yes.
It is currently 3:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah.
This is important to note because the Microsoft press conference at Gamescom is just starting now. So any stuff we're going to talk about on today's show will actually not be. We just didn't have time really in the cards this week, basically, to talk after the press conference this week. So
If something really big happens, like we're keeping our eye out on Twitter and stuff like that,
we're going
then
to talk about it.
We'll bring it up, but otherwise you can expect sort of like a more detailed wrap up of anything that happens
next week.
Next week, anyway.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. We're going to talk about like next week's basically going to be a big Gamescom sort of wrap next week. So we're going to talk about, because we also know Blizzard and Nintendo and some other people are going to be there too with big announcements. So again, we'll talk about that more next week. So the other reason I bring that up is because our first story is about Microsoft. So Crackdown 3 has been delayed until 2018, spring 2018.
Yeah.
So
this sucks, man.
Yeah. This was like their big fall game. So I'm going to read the quote from Microsoft Studios publishing general manager Shannon Loftus. She sort of told Polygon this when this was announced. We want to make sure to deliver the right game with the right quality at the right time. Crackdown 3 is a hugely ambitious game, and we want to ensure that we deliver the right experience all the way through every part of the game, whether it's the campaign, co-op, multiplayer, or our competitive multiplayer mode, Wrecking Zone. Getting the balance right between the three modes is important, and we're going to take the extra development time to ensure that. Gamers can expect Crackdown 3 in the spring of 2018. So spring of 2018 is a big time frame, and realistically, that's probably like the first 3 months of the year. Kind of like this reminds me a lot of when Horizon got delayed until this year last year. It was even around the same time, I think, when they delayed it. because it was supposed to come out last October and it came out in February instead. And we know that a lot of people, Brock included, for example, who was a big proponent of not thinking that Crackdown looked that great. I know a lot of people on the internet sort of share the same sentiment. Again, from the gameplay perspective, I think the gameplay looked fun, but the visuals definitely needed work, I think.
So here's the question. Are they really delaying this to polish the game, or are they delaying it to get out of the way of getting slammed in like the holiday season?
Because this game was supposed to come out on November 7th, a week at literally 4 days after Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And then the week before Battlefront, also the same day as a whole bunch of other games. Now, mind you, that day, Ni no Kuni was also supposed to come out the same day on November 7th, but it also got delayed till next year, until January. So you might be onto something in the sense that maybe they wanted to delay this game. I think part of me feels like it is actually polish. I don't think that's the entire reason. I do think the timing was another reason for the delay, but I do think the polish needed to be there, and I don't think that it was there.
Yeah.
But even remember with Tomb Raider, when Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider was coming out the same day as Fallout 4, and Microsoft was publishing that game, they didn't delay that out of that date. They just let it come out the same day as Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And because obviously they couldn't just cite quality. So that's why I feel like in the same situation, Microsoft, I feel like would have maybe kept the game there if they were really more confident in it. Mm-hmm. But because they felt like maybe it might benefit from more quality stuff, that's why they delayed it.
I think it's a mix of both. I think they were worried they were going to get the shit kicked out of them. I think the negative sentiment, especially off of people who played the game at E3, were just like, this game does not look good. I think they're buying themselves as much time as they can, again, to get out of the way of getting drowned, because they already have a bunch of negative press, and to put as much into the game as they can. I mean, the reality is that I don't think they can delay it past then unless the game is on fire.
Yeah, because that game was announced back in 2013, 2014.
It was a
long time ago.
It was at launch.
Yeah,
right.
That's true. That's a long time ago.
Yeah. This is bad for Microsoft, though. I mean, I remember what it was like last year, the year before. Everyone was talking about sure, Sony's talking a big game about their first-party exclusives, but none of them are coming out this year. Now they're coming out, and Microsoft has fuck all.
Well, let me put it this way, and actually, Danny O'Dwyer did a really good job of talking about this on Kind of Funny Games Daily this week.
Yeah.
Where basically Microsoft's big first-party exclusives this year, or basically just exclusives on the platform, are Halo Wars 2,
yeah,
Cuphead, and Forza.
And PUBG, I guess.
Yeah. That's it. That 4 games.
PUBG. Yeah.
Yeah, because everyone keeps forgetting that PUBG's coming to consoles this year. And I think that's still a big get for them. I think maybe that'll sort of, because we're going to hear, I think, about the release information about that at Gamescom at the press conference. I'm hoping that basically replaces Crackdown slot on November 7th.
So we've got an indie game, a Microsoft Studios, let's be real, B game.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad game.
It was a real-time strategy game, though.
Which has limited appeal on consoles.
Yeah, it's a niche genre.
Yeah.
And then Forza, which, again, Forza Horizon appeals, to a bigger audience. Forza Motorsport has its own audience because it's a sim racer.
Yeah.
But it's also up against Gran Turismo, which is also coming out this year.
And again, it's still it's a bit of a niche game. Not everybody goes out and buys Forza.
Yeah.
It's sports games have wide appeal. There's a lot of people that buy them, but not as wide appeal as Call of Duty or something like that, or even Halo, right?
Yeah.
Let's be real. Halo's their A title because it's a game that everybody wants to buy and play.
Yeah. Even though it's lost a little bit of cachet after Halo 5, I still think that it is still that big.
Oh, yeah. No, totally. It is still the game that, when you say, hey, what Microsoft first-party game are you excited about? And it's always the next Halo game, right? And that's totally fine. Even though you can say, well, I'm a little wary, still people are still interested. I mean, people are saying the same thing about Call of Duty for the last 3 years,
As soon as Halo 6 gets formally unveiled, we're going to be excited about it.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll find a way to sucker us into it.
Yeah.
But because whereas PlayStation, again, it's not even just the first party exclusives. You've also got stuff like Persona and Danganronpa and Neo and Nier and Final Fantasy 12 and a whole bunch of other games that are just on that platform, besides even the Sony first party stuff that has also been strong with Gravity Rush and Horizon and Uncharted. Those just even just their first party stuff is outweighing Microsoft stuff. So
I think this is one of the places where Sony is doing really well, and it's not Sony that did anything right. It was just luck.
Yeah.
And that a lot of Japanese developers put out some really great games in the last year and a half, right? Like it just happenstance that we got a bunch of great stuff that came out really close together. And as always, because Microsoft can't sell units in Japan, that's why
a lot of those games, like Persona and Tales and stuff,
only come out on the PlayStation, right? The reality is that they know that they're selling it to principally a Japanese audience, and they know that that's where their install base is.
Right.
So, I mean, other than weird outliers like Ni no Kuni and stuff like that.
But even Ni no Kuni is also exclusive to the platform too, so it's like.
And let's be real.
And actually, Ni no Kuni actually sells better in North America than Japan.
Yes.
Which is weird.
Well, that's what I was saying. That's why Ni no Kuni is weird. Yeah. Microsoft always had its work cut out for it in Japan, and they never really did a good job. Like, they really needed to court some developers, and they tried.
They tried.
They had Lost Odyssey and a few other games, but then they just stopped putting effort into it.
Yeah.
But it really feels like not only they stopped putting effort into it in Japan, but they stopped putting effort into it here too.
Yeah.
Where are our good Microsoft exclusives? What the fuck, man?
Yeah. Or even, it's not even that. When you compare it to the Xbox 360 era, even then we weren't getting a ton of exclusives from Microsoft. That was always the PlayStation 3's crowning achievement, was it had so many exclusives versus the Xbox 360, but that didn't matter against games like Gears of War 3 and Halo Reach and things like that, where it had these big tentpole releases every year.
Yeah.
But we're not even getting that now, because the big tentpole releases this year are 2 games, and one of them's, and they're both kind of in niche genres.
Yeah.
And Cuphead, even as much as I'm excited about Cuphead, it's not a game that I think appeals to everyone anyways.
No,
it's going to be brutally difficult.
Yeah, like an ultra hard side-scrolling indie shooter game, basically.
Yeah. Again, their big tentpole this year, I truly believe, is PUBG.
Yeah.
When that game comes out, that's going to be huge for Xbox.
Yeah. Unfortunately, its exclusivity window is very narrow.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think this sucks, though. I mean, I feel sorry for Crackdown fans. I keep wanting to believe that Crackdown is a good game.
Well, I think that, in a way, this is good for Crackdown itself.
Yeah.
I think this is a good move for Crackdown because it's going to sell better in the spring, even though it sounds like the spring's going to be very crowded again next year like it was this year. And I think that with more polish, maybe it will actually turn from being a 7 into an 8.
Yeah.
Especially after something like Agents of Mayhem that we saw this week. They're very similar games, Agents of Mayhem and Crackdown. So it almost makes more sense for Crackdown to do this. I think that they're making the right move in this rate. It just means that when the Xbox One X launches, you got Super Lucky's Tale.
Yeah.
And you got PUBG and you got Forza 7.
Yeah. This game should have never been a fall game. Let's be real.
Yeah.
It doesn't have. It's not hitting. It's not punching at that weight.
Yeah. The main reason why Crackdown, the original Crackdown, sold so well is because, number one, it came out in August.
Yep.
Back when August, no games, back then was always a dead zone.
Yeah.
Now there's more games released in August as we're seeing now.
Yeah.
But back then, nothing else came out then. And then it also had the Halo 3 beta stuff in it.
Yeah.
And then people played Crackdown and realized, holy shit, this is actually an awesome game.
Yeah.
But then that didn't translate when Crackdown 2 came out. Because number one, it was rushed and it was not a very good game, and number two, it came out in a dumb spot Crackdown 3 was going to.
Yeah, I think this is a good summer game.
Yeah,
I still don't think the window they
or
have
even
for it is
even
great.
if it came out in January or February, I think it would be awesome.
Yeah.
But also, we keep hearing that God of War is going to come out in spring 2018 as well.
God, I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I really. Plus, we'll be Kuni and some other stuff will be out then too. That's why I think that there is no perfect time, but I think the spring may be a better time for it. Yeah. Either way, again, as someone who actually is excited to play a new Crackdown game, I'm really hoping that this turns out well. I'm really hoping that this is the right move for this game.
Yeah.
Because it's a game I'm actually legitimately excited about. Because I actually really like the original Crackdown, not so much Crackdown 2, but. That's why I'm excited about this game. I want to run around the city and collect orbs. That sounds really fun to me.
Yeah. By the way, Ryan, here's an update from Gamescom. Breaking news: another Assassin's Creed Origins trailer.
Time for some news.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited for Origins.
I am too, but they're doing the same thing that Ubi always does. way too many fucking trailers.
Yeah.
You know, put out one and be fucking done with it.
Well, we also know that they recently announced this, but Sony's also doing a Paris Games Week press conference in a couple months, and maybe we'll see another Origins trailer there.
Their Paris Games Week presser last year was pretty cool, from what I remember.
They actually didn't do it last year.
Was it last year?
It was 2015.
15.
Yeah.
Wow. Woo. Woo.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2015. That was the good one.
Because they did everything at PSX last year.
That's right. Yeah.
That's why I'm actually interested to see how PSX is going to work this year.
Yeah. I saw you were looking into tickets for PSX.
Yeah. I'm thinking about going. I don't know if I'm going to.
You should go.
We'll talk about that.
I am encouraging you.
Yeah. All right. Next up, speaking of PlayStation, because I'm such a PlayStation fanboy, we have to talk about this.
Yeah.
Life is Strange Before the Storm, a game I am very, very excited about.
Yeah.
A game that comes out at the end of this month. A game that's trophies have leaked. However, the trophies are totally fucked with this game. I'll tell you why. Because there's a regular version of this game, and there's a deluxe edition. In the deluxe edition, there's a special episode called Farewell, where you play as Max Caulfield, the character from the first game, as she basically says farewell to Arcadia Bay. It's basically like a prequel to the original game.
Right.
Fine, that's cool. It's like $10 more or whatever. If you want to get that episode, it's there.
Yeah.
Trophy list comes out. In order to get the platinum trophy, you have to finish the special episode that's only available in the deluxe edition.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's not cool, dude.
No, it's because normally what ends up happening with these either special editions or DLC packs is in order to get the platinum, you just have to complete the stuff that's in the base game.
Right.
And then there's a DLC section for trophies where any DLC trophies or trophies of this ilk will go down there. And if you don't have it, you don't have to worry. Those trophies are locked to you, but you can still get the platinum without it. Okay. And that's one of the things that was really nice about even a game like Lego Dimensions, where you didn't have to own any of the other packs for Lego Dimensions. You just had to own the base starter pack, and you can get all the trophies, including the platinum. But it's just they're hiding it behind a $10 paywall, and it's really dumb. Like, it's a poor business. It's what we talked about last week. We're like, tell me the price of the game, and I will pay it.
Yes. Yeah, that sucks.
Because
really
if the real price of this game is $32 Canadian, which is what the deluxe edition costs, then charge me $32 Canadian for it and don't offer the other version. And then we're good. But no, they pull this shit, and it's really dumb. Like, people are going to buy this game and not know it ahead of time.
It's kind of like buying...
Who actually care about trophies.
It's like buying a demo. It's like, this has everything except for the one chapter. You're like, what?
Yeah, or
sense.
people will complete the three episodes because it's 3 episodes long until the extra episode, and then they'll have all the trophies and they'll be like, well, how do I get this last one? Then they'll look up online and they're like, well, fuck, now I'm totally fucked.
Yeah,
because there probably won't be an upgrade version to the deluxe edition. There might not be a way to get it separately, like happens sometimes with games.
Yeah, totally.
And then you're totally fucked. Then you have to go buy this other version if you want it, or you're left out of the.
What about this nightmare scenario, Ryan? Yeah. What if, yes, they do sell that extra chapter, that prologue chapter, separately, like a month after the game comes out, but for like $15.
Right. Then you're totally totally screwed.
Yeah. Because then you're like, oh yeah, I really want the platinum. Oh wait, I got to pay what would have been like
more just to buy it ahead of time.
$10 more. Right, than if I had bought it as a package beforehand. But the only reason why I'm interested is because of the trophy. But the only way I can find this out is by playing the game. It feels like a bit of a switcheroo.
Yeah. It's really dumb.
I'm not suggesting that they did this on purpose. I just think I think
it was an accident.
Yeah, I just think they weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And likewise, but it's weird because, again, Square Enix had to approve it, send it to Sony, and then they had to approve it and then send it back, and then Square Enix had to look over it again. Like, it seems weird that no one would have caught this. Like, I really hope that they have a way to patch this or fix the trophy list. And likewise, the other solution wouldn't be to then give out that DLC to everyone, because then what about the people who actually did pay for the deluxe edition, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a real pickle that they're in, especially for people who actually care about trophies.
Yeah.
Like, it's just weird to me. Because no other game's ever done this before. This is just exclusive to this game.
Yeah.
Either way, that's my trophy talk for the day.
That's fun. As someone who doesn't chase trophies, I'm not really that concerned.
Yeah.
Like, for me personally, but I totally respect that
As someone like
this is important for some people.
Someone like me, I'm not a huge trophy person either, but I always go after the platinum trophy. It's a game I like. Like Hellblade, I made sure to go out of my way to get the platinum for that game because I really like that game. Or even the original Life is Strange or this game, like I really want the platinum trophy because I really like Life is Strange.
Right.
Like, it's a game that I want to get the platinum for. So it just means that now I have to buy the deluxe edition, and that answers the question for me, essentially. So, all right, next up, let's talk about the rest of the news that we got going on this week. So first of all, we got some stuff that they haven't announced yet by the looks of things over on your end from the Microsoft conference, but things that we've already seen leaked, so we kind of already know they're happening, including ReCore Definitive Edition.
Yes.
Get hype, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It's been listed on the Microsoft Store, so they leaked it themselves.
This is that 4K version of ReCore.
It's more than that, though.
Oh.
It also it's coming out at $20 Canadian.
Yeah.
It includes a new adventure called The Eye of Obsidian, which is like a DLC chapter, I guess.
I wonder if this is like the infamous missing content. Like there is a very...
That is exactly what I'm getting to.
Yeah, so this is the very obvious missing stuff from the game where people like, clearly there's an area that's just like, there's meant to be content here, but it's
well, it's not in relation to the Eye of Obsidian. That's something different.
Right.
But there is a fifth Corebot frame called T8NK.
Right. Which was included in the original game, but you couldn't get him. Like there was reference to him.
He was on the box art.
Yeah.
But you couldn't get him.
Yeah.
And of course, most people who haven't played ReCore, because I don't think it sold very well, it's a Metroidvania game.
Yeah.
So as you get the different core boxes, you're able to access different areas. And there was an area basically where like the place was super high off, like either you would need to fly or jump super high to get there, which this Corebot is apparently supposed to allow you to do.
Right.
So now you'll be able to experience the whole game now that you buy this definitive edition.
To be fair, $20 seems like a good price for this game.
Yeah, for full price.
Yeah.
Game? Yeah.
Are we talking, is this US or the Canadian price?
I said Canadian, but it actually, according to my notes, is US dollars.
Okay.
I would assume it's no more than 26 Canadian dollars.
Okay.
But that's still like not a bad deal, I think, for a game like this. Because again, I think ReCore was actually kind of fun. It wasn't amazing, but I think that if you can pick it up for $26, I think that's actually a pretty good price for this.
Yeah.
Playing the full 50, I don't think that's good.
I think this leaked, Ryan, but obviously right now PUBG is on the stage at Gamescom, so that's not really a surprise.
Yeah, I already knew it was going to be there, and they did say late 2017 at E3.
Yep.
Which is what the post you just showed me was.
Yep.
So I guess I'm hoping there's a release date for it. I'm hoping it's November 7th, which is when the console comes.
Yeah.
Because that would be amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, there was actually another leak, speaking of Microsoft, Project Scorpio version of Xbox One X will be coming. It'll be replacing, like, remember when Xbox One originally came out, there was a Day One edition of the console.
Day One edition, yeah.
Well, instead of a Day One edition, they're doing a Project Scorpio edition that's in a Project Scorpio box that says Project Scorpio on the console and on the controller.
On the controller.
It looks really cool.
So the Xbox One Day One edition, the only thing that made it the Day One edition is that the controller had the little Day One edition.
And you got a special achievement.
Did I get a special achievement?
You got a special achievement, the Day One achievement.
Oh, yeah. I have that achievement.
There you go. It's worth no points, though.
Yeah, that makes me sad. So if you like little green Project Scorpio written on shit, then this is for you.
Honestly, I think that's cooler than Xbox One X, the dumb name.
Yes, I agree. Just call it Project Scorpio. That's so much fucking cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah. All right, next story. Speaking of Japanese third-party PlayStation exclusives coming out next year, the same month as Ni no Kuni, actually. Dissidia Final Fantasy NT has a release date. It's coming to PS4 on January 30th, 2018. Square Enix has announced that there's a season pass coming with 6 additional characters at a later date. There's also like a special edition that comes with a Warrior of Light bust and some other stuff. That game looks dope, though. Because did you ever play Dissidia on PSP?
No, but I've always wanted to.
Yeah.
It's a game that's always interested me.
Yeah, so Dissidia, for most folks at home who probably didn't play it on PSP, it's a Final Fantasy fighting game where you play as Final Fantasy characters from all across the series fighting each other in like battle arenas, and it's like a third-person fighting game.
Yeah.
It, like behind like the character's back is where the camera is. And this time around they're doing like tag combat, so something like Marvel vs. Capcom, it looks awesome. Like it was an arcade game in Japan that they're now porting to PS4.
That's pretty cool.
It looks fantastic. You get to play as characters from every Final Fantasy game, including Kefka and Terra from Final Fantasy VI, which I know would make you happy.
Yes.
Or Yastoda from Final Fantasy XIV, which makes me happy.
Cecil's in this game too from Final Fantasy
4. Yep.
Yeah. So if you ever wanted to like fight Cecil versus Kefka, you can do it. Or Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Cecil would outbrood Sephiroth at the drop of a hat.
Yeah. Or what about Vaughn from Final Fantasy 12? He doesn't even wear a shirt.
Yeah.
You can play as him.
Yeah.
He'll be the shirtless choke of this game. Or you can play as Lightning. Everyone's favorite. You can play as Lightning in this game.
Oh, fuck.
Get hyped, motherfuckers.
As long as there aren't any...
She's even on the cover of this game, too, in like this like badass pose.
As long as there aren't any like dress orbs in this game, we're fine.
Yeah. There's also, I think you can play as Final Fantasy 15 characters in the home console version.
Cool.
So you can play as Noctis and whoever the bad guy is from that game as well.
Neat.
All right. Next up, Nintendo has announced that there is a Splatoon 2 Nintendo Switch bundle coming to North America. It came out in Europe, but the bundle here is actually different than the European bundle.
And it came out in Japan as well.
Yeah, it came out in Japan as well.
Yeah.
So the North American bundle is actually going to be exclusive to Walmart, which is bizarre as fuck.
You know what? Walmart's better than the alternatives.
They still have them probably by the sounds of it.
At least there's Walmarts in Canada and the United States.
Yeah, well, we all had a press release. We already know it's coming here, so that's the main thing. Because sometimes when there's these retail exclusives, they don't end up coming to Canada.
Or the alternative is they go to a different retailer, like a Canadian-only retailer that sucks.
Oh, I love it when they do a Target exclusive. That's always my favorite.
Yeah, everyone got excited that we were getting Targets in Canada because it meant we were getting Target exclusives. And then Target lasted like 3 months, and then they all shut down here because they were terribly mismanaged.
Yeah.
And then we were all sad when they went.
They're kind of like Zellers.
Yeah. For whatever reason, it has nothing to do with Target in the United States. Target Canada, like notorious story, totally fucked shit up, bungled everything.
Yeah. No, Target in the States is great.
Target in the States is awesome.
Way better than
yeah. You can get fucking Count Chocula there like all the time.
Oh jeez.
Like they have the entire Serial Monster series at Halloween, and I get anyway.
Yeah.
This is one of the reasons why I like going to Florida.
Yeah.
But yeah, so oftentimes if there were Target exclusives, though, there was something in particular about Target exclusives they never made it.
Well,
here.
they actually did that with Amiibo.
Yes.
There were certain Amiibos that were Target exclusives, and you're like, what happens to Canada then?
Yeah.
Like, well.
Sometimes, like if they're exclusive to other U.S. retailers, it'd be different here. Like Amazon would get them, or sometimes Amazon would get them there, but Amazon wouldn't get them. Amazon Canada wouldn't get them, and I remember reaching out to Amazon Canada years ago, asking for a comment, and they just went, I don't know, sometimes that happens. So, like, it kind of sucks for us. Like, that's why that's one of the reasons why we especially don't like retail exclusives, because it oftentimes means that we get fucked.
It usually means bad news bears.
Yeah. So I'm happy to see it's at Walmart. I'm also happy to see that this includes the colored controllers.
Yes, it does, because the other bundle, the Splatoon bundle, didn't include the Splatoon colored controllers. It included the neon red and blue, like the version that I have at home.
Yeah.
So it includes those versions. It's going to retail for $499 Canadian dollars, first of all, which is actually a pretty good price because the Switch is $399 now.
Yeah.
Except it includes some more bonus stuff. So it includes a download code for Splatoon 2 as well.
Not a physical Splatoon 2.
No, a download code, which is fine.
Yep.
Because it's not a huge game or anything. So
you have to get your ass a memory card.
Yep. It also includes a Splatoon 2 Switch carrying case.
Which is cool.
Which is actually very helpful for the Switch. In fact, you really as a Switch owner, you really want a carrying case for it because it gets scratched up pretty easily.
Yeah.
So getting one right out of the box is great, especially because those usually retail for $20. Mm-hmm. Especially just that and the price of Splatoon is worth the price of admission there.
Yeah.
For the console.
Yeah.
So it's coming out on September 8th.
Mm-hmm.
So that means look out because you might actually be able to buy a Switch on September 8th.
Yeah.
Let's are at home.
Yeah.
Get hyped.
We know that like Amazon Canada, just like before, and a few other
Best Buy had them up for almost an entire day. Like I tweeted about that. So,
but it's the same sort of thing. They come and they go real fast. We're still at that point. Yeah.
Just because again they can't make enough of them.
This is cool, but you know what I really want, Ryan?
What's that?
Now that I'm like, yeah, we got the thing that Japan has that was really cool that I never thought we got, which is the Splatoon controllers.
Right.
Japan just got something that's fucking amazing for the Switch.
The create your own controller thing?
Yes.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Can we please get that here in North America?
It's kind of like the, for those at home who don't know about this, it's actually kind of like the Xbox Design Lab, where you design your own controllers and Switch setup. Switch colors and everything, except it's for Nintendo Switch accessories.
Or for my sneakerheads out there, the Nike ID series, where you can customize your own fucking sneakers. Same kind of idea.
Well, I hope that eventually what they do with the Surface will allow you to create any color controller.
Yeah.
Just like Xbox does.
And like match, like create like individual parts.
Yeah.
Right? So like the trigger is this color, the buttons are this color.
Yeah. Whereas the way the Surface is set up right now, it's just picking from what already exists and then throwing it in the same box.
Yeah. So here's what I want.
All right.
I want Super Famicom colors. I want the XABC, X, Y, A, B buttons to be
the Super Nintendo,
the Super
Famicom
color, right? The green, the yellow, the red, and the blue.
Yeah.
And I want them to be like the slate gray for the Super Famicom.
You already know they're going to do that eventually, right?
God, I would be so happy.
I'm
when they
fairly
do.
certain they're going to do that as a color scheme at some point.
Yeah.
Just like I think there will be an NES one and an N64 color variant.
And just to get nuts, make the left one purple and make the white one gray. I realize that's mixing Super Nintendo.
I don't know if that's going to happen. And in fact,
but that's what I want to do. So that's why I want to That's why I want to be able to customize my own shit, man.
Drew, this is real life. You don't get what you want.
No, I think you know what's going to happen when I get a Switch at some point, which I'm hoping to do before Christmas time. When I get a Switch, I am going to take them apart and I'm going to paint them myself.
Sweet.
Yeah, I am really excited to do that because I want to have my custom SNES style.
That'll be fun.
Switch colors.
You'll have them before they announce them.
Yes. Yes.
That's provided they don't announce Virtual Console before the end of the year, which I don't think they're going to do.
I already saw a guy who did the button conversion with his Switch. He took the buttons off of an old. He ordered the buttons separately, but like basically the buttons that were out of like a DS,
Right.
an old DS that had that color scheme.
Yeah, I had almost hoped that when they announced the SNES Classic, that they would announce a color scheme that matched it for the Switch controllers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that, but I still think that's going to happen when the Virtual Console is finally announced.
Yeah.
I think that's something that's going to go side by side with it.
Hey, Nintendo, do that.
That would be sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Last couple news stories. So, Android 16 and Android 18 have both been confirmed as fighters in the upcoming Dragon Ball Fighter Z, as well as the Super Saiyan Blue modes for Goku and Vegeta. There will be also a alternate what if story mode where basically you have to fight Android 16, who gets resurrected somehow and basically becomes more powerful and fights all the Z fighters. So that sounds pretty cool. Also, PSA to people at home who are actually excited about this game. Remember how I told you there is a closed beta coming up? Well, the signups are on Tuesday, August 22nd. So if you're excited about this, go sign up for those. And hopefully I'll see you in the beta because I'm going to be trying to get into that beta really hard.
Cool.
Because I'm excited about that game.
By the way.
There you go.
So our boy Broccoli.
Yeah.
Just tweeted Jurassic World Evolution was announced at the Xbox Gamescom press conference, which looks like some kind of
Jurassic Park tycoon game?
Yeah, like some kind of like a roller coaster tycoon, but with dinosaurs, which I am pumped for because I love those games and I love dinosaurs. So fuck yeah.
Can we go ride around the Dino Petting Zoo in first person? Like ride a Triceratops?
Yeah, I'm up for that.
That's what you did. That's what they did in Jurassic World. They had the Dino Petting Zoo with a little Triceratops.
That was pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I basically have the intellect of like an 8-year-old boy.
Oh,
like
excellent.
Space robots and dinosaurs. So
it's not intellect. It's you have the interests of an 8-year-old boy.
Yeah,
it's different. Not all about intellect.
Yeah.
You can be smart, but have the interests of a child.
I'm just scanning for any last minute news before we move on from the news.
Well, we still have 2 more news stories. So let's get through them while you're scanning.
You blur through those.
So Shenmue 3.
Record Definitive Edition confirmed.
Confirmed August 29th, it says?
Yep, August 29th. That's real fast.
Told you.
Yeah.
All right, so Shenmue 3. Let's talk about Shenmue 3 again. It has a publisher. Deep Silver is publishing this game.
Well, that's good news because they actually publish things.
They actually make sure stuff comes out.
Yeah.
And Deep Silver has once again confirmed that the game is still on track to release late 2018. So it actually sounds like it's actually coming out and that the wheels are actually in motion for this game to eventually come out.
When you tell me late 2018, 2 things happen. 1, I get sad, and 2, I go like, well, that's a realistic date. If they told me anything sooner than that, I'd be like, you're full of shit. Shenmue takes fucking forever to make.
They also announced that a long time ago that it's going to be at Gamescom. So they're actually going to be showing some stuff. We're actually going to see what this game looks like at Gamescom this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Shenmue 3 actually sounds like it is going to be an actual video game that comes out.
Cool.
Because we thought for a long time it was just going to be vaporware.
Yeah.
All right, last bit of news. We Happy Few has an official release date, and they have a publisher as well. So Gearbox is actually publishing the game now instead of them being an independent. It's coming to Xbox One, PC, and PS4 on April 13th, 2018. It was not coming to PS4 before. It was announced as an Xbox One and PC exclusive. It is currently in Xbox Preview Program, so if you buy that version, you get the version when it comes out. Because I think the final version is actually more expensive than the preview price right now.
Oh. Okay.
But yeah, so it's a game. It's finally coming out. I know people were really excited about that game.
Yeah.
I was not after seeing the gameplay because it's some weird like survival game. It's much less like the BioShock game that I thought it was.
Yeah.
And more like something weirdly different.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember a lot of people being disappointed. Be like, this is. Yeah, it's more Rust than it is anything else.
Yeah.
And people were disappointed about. People were expecting like more of like this is a quirky like adventure-y first-person shooter-y kind of hybrid, and it's
like even then I was hoping it was more. It kind of looked like more like Prey did when we first saw the trailers for Prey as well. But then now it's again the actual game is something very different from that.
By the way, I want to say, speaking of Prey, I'm coming around on Prey.
Yeah.
Still has its problems, but that game I think has some underappreciated aspects of it. Just sliding that out there.
So we can officially take it off our list of most disappointing games this year?
Oh, it is definitely not most disappointing.
Yeah.
No.
We're just going to save
no
that.
way in hell.
We're going to save that for Mass Effect Andromeda or Ghost Recon Wildlands to fight it out.
Yeah, it is. It is Mass Effect Andromeda with a
I don't know.
bullet.
Brock will fight you for Ghost Recon.
I know. He hates that game.
Also, fun fact about Mass Effect Andromeda, I didn't put it down on the news, but BioWare announced yesterday that they're ceasing all DLC patches.
Zero DLC. They are fucking done.
Not DLC, but no patches, period, for single player.
Nothing. No more Andromeda content.
So
full stop.
So if anything is actually broken in the game still,
Yeah.
doesn't matter. They're not going to fix it.
They are flushing that motherfucker down the toilet.
They're still doing multiplayer support. So that
Yeah.
the multiplayer support's there, so there's going to be new multiplayer stuff, but single player is out the window for that. All right. Do you have any more news, or let's jump into new releases?
Recore. That looks like that's about it.
Cool. So let's talk about this week's new releases because there's some goodies coming out this week, including F1 2017. Woohoo! Race cars.
Wait a minute. Stop the presses. What is this Conquer Good Fur Day? What is happening here?
Get hyped?
There is a new Conquer side-scrolling game called... Oh, wait.
Oh, is it actually Super Lucky's Tale?
I think it's Super Lucky Tale. Somebody's fucking with us.
Jesus, Drew. You got me all excited.
Yeah, me too.
You got the listeners start a sidetrack from F1 2017.
Sorry, F1 2017.
Vroom, vroom.
I do like F1 racing. F1 racing is cool.
It's got cars.
I don't think anyone's ever really done a really good F1 game in the sense that like people have done like really hardcore simulators. The thing that's interesting about F1 is the R&D. Like the whole thing is that like it's all the stuff that happens behind the scenes where you know that like one company has spent way more money on brace technology and another company spent way more money on like downforce technology or whatever.
Right.
There was a period of time where like only certain vehicles had diffusers, these things called diffusers that were giving them more downforce.
Right.
And they were beating the shit out of everyone else, and it was fucking crazy. So F1 is just a race to see who can spend more money. It's not necessarily about. You know, the racers certainly have a huge impact on it. The drivers, I'm not going to diminish what like Hamilton or Button or any of those guys do because those guys bust their asses. But the technology is what gives them such a huge edge on top of that.
Right.
And it's such a fucking crazy world of like insider backdoor deals and stuff like that. I want that. I want like someone like in order to race in this race in Dubai, you have to bribe this person to get your car across the border.
Also, should have like a story mode like Madden does.
Yes,
It's
precisely.
all about the intrigue.
Yes.
By the way, actually, I should mention I did play the long shot mode from Madden because the EA access free trial for Madden out this week.
Yeah.
So I actually played the long shot mode and it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Telltale meets football.
Speaking of which, we have a free month of EA access.
Do we?
Yeah, I have a code for that.
Oh.
We should give that away or something.
We should. You should give it away to the listeners.
Okay. All right. Here it is right now, a code for a free month of EA access. I'm not going to tell you what the code is. You have to send us an email or you have to tweet at us. And
where would they tweet us, Drew?
At Game Moosecast.
Game_moose_cast.
At Game_moose_cast.
Damn it, Drew.
Yeah, I'm not even. Yeah. So, or send us an email at GameMoosecast@gmail.com.
Perfect. See, I have EA Access because I actually pay for it. But
Yeah.
because I still think it's a great service.
Yeah.
Playing Madden early is actually kind of cool. So, yeah, I like the long shot mode. I think it's fun. I want to talk about it more because I think we're all going to probably play Madden soonish.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that probably in the coming weeks.
Yeah. So we'll start tweeting about it this week, and
Doing other things.
Yeah.
Next up, Uncharted: The Lost Legacy out this week.
Yes.
Brock, our good friend Broccoli, wrote a review of Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. So if you want to check out a review of his, go to brockstargaming.com. He wrote up a big review of all of his thoughts.
Yeah.
He really wanted to talk about it on the show this week, but he's not here. But he said he wanted to do a big discussion about it next week.
Yeah, we're definitely.
So we're gonna leave that on the
time for it for next episode.
Put a pin in it. We're going
Yeah.
to talk about it next week.
Yeah.
Thimbleweed Park comes to PS4. That's the new game from Ron Gilbert.
Yeah, the Monkey Island fame, etc.
Yeah, it was on every other console except PS4, and now it's on PS4.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Minecraft Story Mode comes to Nintendo Switch. Madden 18 comes out on Friday. The aforementioned Madden 18. Chicken Wiggle comes out this week.
Chicken Wiggle, yes, Chicken Wiggle. I love Chicken Wiggle, or the concept thereof.
It's got chickens. They wiggle. They do some things. Next up, One Piece Unlimited World Red. It's like a Dynasty Warriors, like Muso style One Piece game.
Yep.
And last but not least, Drew's favorite thing in the whole wide world, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Legacy comes out this week.
Oh.
It's a fun package because it's a HD remaster of all the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games in one package. So it's 4 games in one.
So much ninja action.
So much ninja action. It takes you from the very beginning of the original Naruto series until the end of Naruto Shippuden. So it's covers like all 500 episodes of Naruto.
Right.
Which is kind of cool.
Right.
Most of those games are actually pretty fun. I like those games.
Cool. I know you've had some positive things to say about them before, so.
Yeah. As a Naruto fan, but even not as a Naruto fan, I think they're actually kind of fun fighting games.
Right.
Because they're like arcade style, almost like Dissidia.
Yeah.
They're actually very similar fighting games. So I think that's pretty cool. So that's sort of our show this week. But before we go, Drew Plugs go.
I'm at T McMill on Twitter, and go to www.game-moose.com. That RoboCop thing is almost done.
I actually looked at a draft of it today.
Yeah.
It's coming. I can verify that it's a thing that exists.
Yes.
So it is happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Get hyped.
That's it. Yeah, just follow me on Twitter and stuff, and we'll give away that code soon.
Yep. You're even Ghost with the most on Twitter as well.
I am at T McMill, but I am the ghost with the most.
In case you're wondering why you look it up, I was like, that's not his name.
Yeah.
And as for me, you can find me on Twitter at Ryan Turford. That's TURFORD. You can also find me on game-moose.com and the Game-Moose YouTube page. Get hyped about that. We're going to put up some videos soon, including Drew's RoboCop thing, as well as some other stuff that I'm actually working on as well that I don't want to talk about yet. One of the videos has to do with Final Fantasy XIV, but I don't want to bore Drew with that. So,
well, I can tell you that the RoboCop thing is not called the RoboCop thing. The RoboCop thing is the first episode of a video series called RoboFlix, where I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite movies and TV series.
yep.
So yeah, that's a thing.
Most of them include robots.
So far, all of the ones I have planned include robots.
Excellent. So it fits with the name. Also, I should mention as well, last bit of housekeeping news, Extra Life is fast approaching, as well as our 100th episode.
Yes.
They might even run side by side, but we're going to tell you guys some more details about that in the coming weeks.
Yeah, they may coincide with one another. That'll be interesting.
So again, we do want to encourage people to check out our Extra Life pages. Either go to Extra Life and search for Ryan Turford or Drew McMillan.
Yep.
We should come up right away. We're going to help raise some money for Sick Kids, which is a charitable organization helping hospitals here in Ontario.
Yes.
Which is kind of cool. So we're gonna have a whole 24-hour live stream about that. We're gonna have a podcast. We're gonna play games. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
So
fun fact: I spent a good portion of my childhood visiting Toronto Sick Kids Hospital. It is a cause that is very near and dear to my heart. Kids being in hospitals fucking sucks. It is really, really hard for them and for their families. And this sort of these charities give as much, sort of joy as possible to try to make that process as easy for them as possible. So, yeah.
for sure. Also, before we wrap up as well, Brock McLaughlin You can find him on Twitter at Brock McLaughlin.
Yeah.
We should plug him since he's out here.
Even if he's not here, we plug him.
Also,
what good people we are.
BrockStarGaming.com is his website.
Yep.
He puts up lots of news. He does a lot of hard work over there, so go check out some of the stuff.
Yeah, we don't really give a shit about news, but if you want like the news you can use, Brock's definitely got it for you.
Yeah, he's usually got you covered.
Yeah.
Anyways, for Drew McMillan, I'm Ryan Turford. This has been episode 90 of the Game Moose podcast, and we're out.